Just kind of talk about this season for you and how different it is. Obviously, coming in as a true freshman, things are a little bit different. But how much more comfortable do you feel now than you did a year ago?
I would say a lot more comfortable. Coaches have really worked with me during on the off season, and just to like perfect the things that I was good at and work on the things that I was bad at. I think that this season is way different because I like know what is expected. Like you kind of know what you're gonna get when you're going on the road. You know the routines and stuff like that. So it kind of makes my job easier. Last year I was just kind of foaming around trying to figure out what to do on the road and how to pass time by. But now I have my routine for on the road and at home, so it just makes things a lot easier and helps the game come around a lot faster. And the flow in game is just way better because I feel like I've gained 10 pounds, so that helps a lot. Not getting pushed around as much out there, and I don't feel like a freshman anymore, so it feels good.
I don't think you ever lacked confidence, but has your confidence grown from last year?
Oh no, no, for sure. You're just doing things out on the court, and a lot of kids that are freshmen don't really understand like game experience really matters. But the more game experience I get, the more I feel like I like for instance Radford just being put in those different situations, and Hampton when players didn't necessarily make shots or play their potential, just kind of stepping into the role to help the team out. I mean, it definitely helps your confidence.
One thing from you is it seems like, not that you were a bad defender at all, but it seems like that's a part of your game where you're really taking a lot of pride in. Is that true?
Yeah, I feel like it's my job. Especially on this team, we're a really talented group, have a lot of different scorers and playmakers, and I just add a little bit of pizzazz to the team by coming out here and just trying to, play the best defense I can, whether that's in help or on the ball. I feel like that's definitely a role that I've accepted.
Obviously, with what you guys are doing right now is pretty special, but it does seem like this is just a different group, that you guys are really connected. Talk about that a little bit, and on and off the court, it just seems like this team's a little bit different than last year, just maybe even a little more connected.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think we spent a lot more time than last year's team did. Not saying that last year's team didn't spend any time together, but we got to go to Italy and Cancun, and we got different trips, and I feel like that has helped us gel. Like I said, in the summertime, this group, as soon as we got together after the first pickup, we had a cookout. We went out to the pool, had a cookout, which is really different because, normally after the first pickup, guys are like, oh, this guy. We're all competing at the same time, but we're on the same team. And this group was just like, everybody's good, and, like, accept it and find a role and fit into it. And, I mean, this team has been amazing.
Let's go back a little bit again to your freshman year. And when you first came in, did you feel like you were more advanced offensively or defensively in terms of your overall mindset and preparation for the college game?
I would say offensively. I mean, defense, there's a lot of rules in college that kids don't really know about in high school. When you come off a ball screen in high school, you're probably getting a switch. You're not getting a level. So I felt like offensively it was easier for me to score in high school. And obviously when you come into college, there's a lot of guys that know a lot of things, and you can't play off 1 foot, or you have to, be disciplined when you get into the paint and just sitting and stuff like that. And I don't really, that's a hard question. I mean, I've had really big scoring games in high school, and a big scoring game in college isn't the same as it is in high school. So I would say probably offensively, I thought that coming in I was a lot more advanced in defense because the game moves a lot faster in college and stuff like that. So
understandable about that. The game does move faster. But with your dad being a head coach as well, or being a coach career-wise, how much emphasis was placed on the defense? I want to continue with this defensive trend right now.
I would say it's been like a part of my game for as long as I can remember. My sister played at Old Dominion for 3 years, and I mean that was pretty much her job, 3-and-D, and she was really solid inside of her role over there. And just watching her, she scored 2,800 high school points, and then when you get to college, it's like you got to find a role. Everybody can't just score on the team, and her role was pretty much to guard the best player on every team in the Conference USA at that time. And it was cool to watch, and I just kind of took that part from her game and added it to mine, and I just ran with it.
Let's look at the big picture, the first half of this season, then defensively speaking still. The big picture, how has this defense progressed? What is the story of the first half of the season for the team defensively?
Oh, man, the scouts. Coach Buck has done a great job of just going deep in his scouts and putting the tendencies of players out there, and we just kind of pay attention to it in the film room and really lock in, and you can tell when our defense is really dialed in. We just know what each player does out there, and everybody's just, if you're supposed to be in help, they're in help. Obviously, like, that's something that we want to continue to do, just making sure that we're best on defense and you are where you're supposed to be. And guys are trusting each other out there. You can see it. When guys are supposed to be in help, they're in help. When they're supposed to be talking, they're talking. So we're doing pretty good.
You go back to that. You mentioned the first pickup game, and then you go have a cookout, and everybody's getting along. Like, do you feel like that's ordinary for a team? You said it's a little bit different, but to have guys who you have a good mix of guys coming back, and then you add some guys from the portal and freshmen and everything. Is that kind of out of the ordinary to gel so quickly?
Yeah, I found it so special. After, the returning guys, we were just like, man, this is something different. Like I said, like, normally when you're after your first pickup game, you're looking at the guys on the team. You're trying to get a feel like, oh, I got to compete against like this guy every day, or I got to compete. It wasn't like that, and I felt like that was really different. When guys understand, like, hey, we have a lot of talent, and we all have obviously probably egos, but we're putting it under one ego umbrella and just embracing that. I feel like that's super special.
Personally, I would think, like, you bring in Mike Green, and you got to be looking a little bit like, okay, we're going to be fighting for some of the same minutes. How did you guys kind of start to gel so quickly and get to the point where you're playing together sometimes? Mike's
a fifth year or sixth year, one of those, and he has a lot of game experience. And I understood that coming in with him coming in, but Mike helps me a lot. If you see Mike come off a pick and roll, probably 90% of the time he's going to make the right read. And I wouldn't say I'm at that rate yet, but just learning from him, it helps my game out so much. Mike, if you ever look at a media timeout, and if I check in, just watch Mike. He'll run right to me and tell me, hey, this is what I see. This is the read. This is the coverage that they're in. Look play behind you, attack. He'll tell me what to do, and that really does help a lot. Especially like I said, I had a lot of game experience last year, but not as much as I'm getting now. So him helping is just making my job a lot easier.
And can you speak specifically on what TJ has brought to this team? And obviously talented and maybe even more size in the post than you guys have had, but off the floor and just kind of as a leader, what has he brought?
TJ's a tough kid. He's played in the ACC, one of the toughest conferences out there, and you can just tell that in the moment he's just super calm all the time. You never see TJ get too high or get too low, and I think that has helped a lot of the guys out because, some of us, we're really high-intensity guys and we're excited and stuff, but TJ brings a different level of calm to this team. I love this team because we have a lot of different characters on the team. We got Fat, who is a really outgoing kid. I'm an outgoing kid. Ray is a quiet kid, but outgoing within the team. TJ is quiet. We have different characters, and I think that helps us out a lot. Everybody gets to be themselves inside of the AUBC and inside of the family. So,
looking ahead to this week, 2-game road trip coming up, how would you describe playing on the road in the Sun Belt Conference in those environments?
Well, I want to start on playing on the road in general. This team loves it. We like being on the road sometimes more than we like being at home because everybody's already against you when you get inside of the arena, and we just embrace that. We love that. We like being the villains. We like wearing black and stuff like that. But I would say on the road in the Sun Belt, it's tough. Last week, only 2 teams won on the road, or something like that, 2 out of the 7. So we're just kind of embracing that and just trying to be different every week. And we don't really care whether we're playing in Cancun, Italy, on the road, at home. We're just going to be ourselves. So
you talk about just you guys embracing the road environment. What is it you think about this team that's embracing of that?
I think everybody. We just love when everybody's against us. It's easier to play at home because our crowd is going to be loud for us, but we just like when times get tough. This team, I feel like we grow every time. We learn something every time about each other, and we just enjoy that.
Specifically Lafayette on Thursday, what do you know about them? What have you guys seen on them on tape?
They're coming off of a Sun Belt championship. You obviously have to have a chip on your shoulder when you go out and rep the conference in March Madness, and that's something that we've always wanted. That's something that we're working towards this year, and I feel like that that is what is driving us right now. They won the Sun Belt last year. We beat them at home too, so we felt like that could have been us, and maybe we just weren't ready last year. But we're going to continue to take steps to prepare and get ready every day.